Third time. I don't know what's going on trying to do this video. First, I just want to start off about my last video. I was rushing when I did that video. I did it on my phone. I didn't even do it on my computer. That's first. I had just watched a live with Gypsy and Sheena and Bree and all them and a bunch of people I don't know talking about karma and how they've contacted lawyers, attorneys, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And talking about how they had his phone number, email, address, everything, and that he's a PDF and that he's plotting and planning the demise of their kid, right? Of her kid. That was like a very quick, just we need to be cautious type thing, no matter if you're on, yes, there is a child, no, there's not a child. And, you know, I had some creators who's never commented on my content and some who have maybe once, I don't know, but how they disagree with me. And that's okay, you can disagree with me. That's not what this is about. I just want to explain. I wasn't saying he can't speak on what he wants. That's every right. He has every right to. But now they're turning it into he's plotting, planning the demise. And this is taking a really dark turn. And they're saying he's stalking. They're getting a restraining order. Just all kinds of stuff, right? That's what I meant. Now, am I on the conspiracy theory side of this? No, I'm not. I really ain't. I'm on the more fact side. The only thing where I, tend to have reserve or reservations with his content is when he throws out that Dee Dee was a child trafficker. Add a T to that. That's, a pretty bold statement, and that happens a lot, People throw that out there with a lot of theories and, cases and stuff like that. It's just so loosely thrown out. That and trafficking, add a T to it. And let me say this beforehand. That's all a me issue. My trauma, my triggers, that's all a me issue. I'm putting that out there. And the reason that it is, and this is the reason why I do kind of hold back from engaging more with the content, because for me, that was a little more than what I'm willing to just overlook. Not overlook, but I'm not going to hype and support and share and, nothing like that. I was trafficked. R-A, I'm not even going to spell it out. I'll just put it on the screen. Add a T in front of trafficked. Trap. I hate to talk about this. I'm an emotional person, so especially this is why I do not talk about it. I was from my perpetrator, right? And there were girls as young as 12, 14 that he brought in, okay? I did see it. So when it's just so loosely thrown out there, and you know how you say, like, oh, well, somebody gets gray and nobody believes him. You're being stalked. You go to the cops, nobody believes him. You're in the middle of a domestic violence, nobody believes him. You say something, you say something, you say something. Because for me, that's one of the reasons. Gypsy lying. Gypsy using our traumas. And it didn't happen to her. Right? And then people just throwing out there like, oh, this, or that. And for me, I feel like you should have some very strong evidence before just throwing that out there. Right? I mean, That's just me. And that is a me issue. That's not a him issue. That's all me. That's not him. But he knows. We've spoke on his videos and mine. He's very entertaining. I don't disagree with that. I don't have an issue with him. I don't have an issue with what he says. I do not. At all. He has that freedom to say whatever he wants. I wasn't meaning him, but I would hope he would be cautious because I would hate to see that get turned into what they're accusing him of, right? I've never not supported him. And that doesn't change. I want the same as they want. He doesn't believe there's a child. I do. I'm half and half, right? And he's trying to expose it. And they're saying that exposing is actually him plotting and planning, right? I do think that little hometown with that good old boy system will believe Gypsy. They always do. And I know corruption runs deep. In my situation, my perpetrator was working for the police department. I didn't even know until I went to court. For 2 years, the 2 years before, well, they gave a year in that year before he was arrested, how much he made. It was like $28,000 he made from the police department snitching on people, right? They would do like these fake raids and come in and like he was in trouble, but it wasn't. It was to get other people arrested, and he would just look like he was involved when he really wasn't. And when that happened once, I told the cops, I pulled them aside, said, this is happening. This, and this is happening. They didn't care. And I couldn't get it through my head. They're like, you can talk to the judge. You can tell it to the judge. That's all they said. And I'm like, I'm telling you, this is happening. This is happening. This is happening. And there was nothing. Nothing. I didn't know he was working for the police. I had no idea. Right? This, so you think, okay, they ain't gonna believe me. What do I do? What do you do? What the freak do you do? Again, this is a me issue. He can talk how much he wants to, but that doesn't mean that I have to go in and be extra cheerleader for him and support him, because for my own mental health, I have to draw a line somewhere. And this stuff, man, this is draining sometimes, right? You know, I get a lot of trolls, and the trolls are getting bigger and bigger now, and I get that. Um, I hate talking about this. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I can just tell you that, you know, I can talk about, like, oh, you're a liar. People don't believe you. People don't. I really don't care anymore. People don't. I really don't. I don't care if the cops didn't. I got my apology. It wasn't from the same cops, but it was from the entire police department in court, or, you know, in the courthouse later. Even the judge. The judge checked on me. It was years later, and I keep in contact with one of the federal agents, and that judge still asks about me to make sure I'm doing okay. But there were cops, lawyers, judges, professional athletes, firemen, military, people that are supposed to help and protect were all involved. So when, you know, you just throw those accusations out, that's a pretty serious accusation for me, because it's a me issue. And I feel like That's why it's not believed a lot, because it is such a, it's laughed about, and that's just how I feel. But nowhere do I not support or feel like he has the right to say whatever he wants. I just meant in general, I don't care. I be honest, I don't care if the kid's real or not. I don't. I really don't. I do not. I don't. Um, I'm not crying on here. I'm not going to, because I know how that gets looked at and people make fun of that. Not. I just hope if it is, I go back and forth. I am. I do go back and forth. But man, that's a lot of covering up, just for her. And my mind is not seeing it right now. I do go back and forth with it, but I don't know, y'all. I don't care. My whole point was we all should be careful, whether we believe it or not. We should be careful and very cautious on what we say, because my God, they are twisting and turning this into something dark now. And that's what I meant. I shouldn't have rushed my video. I shouldn't have, because I went back and listened, like, what did I say? Why is everybody saying I disagree with you about that? And they were disappointed in me. First of all, I'm sorry if I disappoint somebody, but you know what? Um, we all are going to not agree on everything. That's life. We're going to agree and disagree on things. That doesn't mean I don't support or not support somebody, or vice versa. But I don't want to talk about this, and I don't want to hear about child trafficking, because I did see it, right? I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see comments on it. And it's a serious accusation, and I don't want people thinking that that's okay just to throw around, because I honestly feel like a lot of people aren't believed for that reason, just the same as with TV and people who are stalked, etc. It's just always overlooked because her lying, about stuff, people just like her lying about traumas and issues and stuff we went through and using our stories for their benefit. And then they found out they're lying. Well, yeah. Or it's just a big joke. Look at this, it's a big joke. But let me say it one more time. That is a me issue. That's not anything personal with another content creator. That's a me problem. But I didn't mean it. I don't know how I meant it. I meant it just we should all be cautious. That's genuinely how I meant it. Because this take a dark turn really quick. I want to take a break, and then we're going to start with Sheena and how she's happy of doxing. Okay, so this is from Keisha's live, and I just want to show you just how it's always okay for them, but not for anybody else, and how just gross Sheena is. I hate to even put her on my channel, on my videos. I just can't. I just cannot. So, and this is what I had seen right before I did the video. Not this, but a live of Bree and Gypsy and all them talking about him, and even calling him a PDF and a stalker, and getting restraining orders and doxing his information on there. That's why I was urging caution. That was my point, but I didn't say it right. That is my fault. I did not say it right, so I apologize. If you haven't noticed, my videos aren't perfect. I'm constantly stumbling over my words. I'm constantly going from one thing to the next because my mind's just going here and there. And I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And I was rushing because I was going to pick my son up. It's at least 3-hour drive there and back. And sometimes double that with traffic and wrecks and construction, whatever. Usually it's a wreck because the drivers here in Florida, I'll leave it at that. But yeah, it's usually a 3 to at least 3.5, probably. I'll say 3.5 to sometimes 5-6 hour drive. But here we go.
just want to clarify one thing. I don't have a lot of time. I want to clarify why Ryan was contacted, okay? Gypsy got this message. It was weird and it was borderline creepy. Um, and so she called Ryan to ask him if it was him. Ken was there with her. Ken was aware. They share those things with each other because that's how they choose to go forward. But that is why she called Ryan. It wasn't behind Ken's back. It wasn't for any nefarious reason. But if he's sending texts like that, they needed to know if it was him or if it was someone else. Because
why didn't she just message him or email?
Why does that even give her the right to call him 8 times? Because she received a message that wasn't from him, but wanted to know if it was him, and that he's creepy. It was borderline creepy, so it had to be Ryan. Get out of here. I don't buy it. I don't care. I just don't buy it. It's so ridiculous. I'm sorry, it is. I had to stop for a second. My grandson's throwing a tantrum, and you can hear it. Hold on. Oh, that was a bad tantrum. I don't miss those days. Okay.
is not profoundly remorseful for the way things happen. They're just dead wrong, and they don't know her. You know, someone made the point to Rogie, about him only knowing her after prison and this, that, and the other. Well, you guys didn't know her when she was in prison, so you can't say what she thought, felt, or any of that stuff.
No, but what she puts out publicly now, we can comment on.
And let me clarify. Rogie may have physically met her at the book signing, but Rogie had built a relationship with her before they met. He had been talking to her, communicating with her. So he didn't just show up and, hey, hi, Gypsy Rose, it's me, Rogie, and shake hands. They knew each other before that book signing.
Sorry, I can't get on. You didn't know her in jail either. We don't know her. You don't know her now. You don't know what goes on. She told you that Ken was there and he called and blah, blah, blah. You don't know the real reason she called or what. We don't know nobody. Bottom line is, we don't know anybody's true thoughts. That's impossible. That's dumb. But let me get to the doxing part. That's the best part. Here we go. And oh my God, I just cannot how rude she is. Just how rude.
She was right down the stinking road from her parents,
Tina, can I ask you a serious question about yourself?
Sure.
Why do you dox?
I doxed that lady that put out the baby's medical records because I wanted everyone on this app to know who she was. I thought it was disgusting and something that we should not stand for, and I own it full chest. Speaking of which, as of today,
what about Tammy?
The person who, hold on a second, the person who did that has been identified and turned over to the Attorney General as of today.
Yeah, but just because you think it's okay doesn't mean that it is okay, and it's still illegal in the eyes of the law, no matter what your reasoning is.
I don't care.
I understand that you don't care, but
I don't care.
So
you dox because you don't care.
To do the same thing because for the same reason.
That is the only person I have ever doxed in my life. And
at the moment.
What about Tammy? What about Tammy?
I own it. I didn't dox Tammy.
What about the Karma Collector? What's going on with Naomi? You guys are acting, it's crazy.
I didn't dox Karma Collector. None of us did. He doxed himself, if you want to be honest. He put his name out on one of his, I don't know if he was live or in a video. I can't remember. He put his full name out there. He came onto TikTok under his full name in the beginning. His full name is on all his social media accounts. Natasha Cooper said his name on the live the other night. How did we dox that man? I know his address. I know his phone number. I know his email address.
You shouldn't be
those out because those were for the authorities.
That's weird. You should not be proud of that. And the only person who
I'm very proud of that because those got turned over to the authorities.
is the person who is affected. You're not affected
You're
by it.
not.
It's not your
Look,
fucking baby.
you're
Sheena,
not
you
defending
know,
Karma
baby.
Collector. The
hold on.
fact is, you hate Gypsy, and
No,
that's what
I
this
don't
is
hate
about.
anybody.
And
I
you
don't hate
That's what
love
this
anybody
is
on
Gypsy,
this
about.
and you
planet.
retaliate.
Hold
It
on.
is
You love
about.
Nobody.
It is about the hate for Gypsy to where
I
you
don't
can't
And what
hate
about
see.
the
Gypsy.
love for Gypsy? What
This,
about the
I
love for
hate
Gypsy? You
Gypsy.
guys
you
love
How
can't
her
dare
so
see.
much
you?
that you're
You
willing
can't
to
see
risk other
past your
people's.
feelings to see that her child is worthy of being safe. That man said on a video, if anybody sees Gypsy and that baby, they need to snatch her.
Wait,
So
okay,
You
Sheena,
think
I have a
that's
why are
safe?
you
question.
Wants to
talking
come up.
about it
Stephanie,
on
come
the
back up later,
internet
okay?
instead of talking about it with the police? Why are we
Stephanie, you
on
gotta
the
make
internet
room.
doxing people instead of going to
Exactly.
the police and
It has
giving them the
gone to the
information?
police.
Where's
It
the
is
police
all
Instead
to
of,
report?
It, I, this is why I stick to just wanting to do the facts because I can't handle being on panels and hearing the arguing and the back and forth. It is too much. It is too much. Like it stresses me out beyond belief. I hate arguing. I hate disagreements. I hate it. I hate it. But she's proud. And no, Sheena, you can't get past your feelings. That's what I see. She can't get past her feelings to see the truth in front of her. It's crazy. So let's listen to Sheena say how much she loves who she is.
I don't care to be a better person. I like who
So
I
why
am.
would we believe you? Birds of a feather flock
You don't
together,
have
don't
to.
they?
You don't have to,
Okay.
Keish.
I mean,
I'm who I am. I am old as
and
fuck. I'm
Gypsy
who
is
I
who
am.
she
It ain't
is.
changing. It's not
And
going to
Gypsy is who
change.
she is. I don't think she's gonna change either.
If you're looking for change with me, you're just not going to find it.
And we're not gonna find it anywhere over there.
And that's okay. If nobody changes, that's okay. I like these people the
Well,
way they are.
all right.
I love them the
Well,
way
there
they
you
are.
go. There you go.
Yeah, it is what
Thank
it
you.
is. But anyway, I'm not going to have Bree labeled as doxing Karma Collector when he did it himself. And if you don't want to see the proof, that's just you not wanting to see it. It just is what it is.
Isn't that rich? You just not wanting to see the proof, and it is what it is. Isn't that rich, Sheena, that you have sat here and seen the proof that we put out daily, day after day after day after day, and you refuse to see it? There's always an excuse. She's mad because she said Karma Collector doxed her and released her sealed plea deal court record. How that happened, I wouldn't know. Did it happen? I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't know. He might have gotten a hold of the husband's court documents, and that's not sealed. She took a plea deal because supposedly, this is all alleged and what happened, her husband's serving life in prison for a rug deal. They went to rob somebody. They lost their life. She took a plea deal. I think she did like 2 years or 3. I don't know. She got out of it too. And birds of a feather flock together. Um, I can see why she loves Gypsy so much. So yeah, I can't do anything. How to change my son's key fob. Yes, I learned how to change the battery to my car's key fob. I'm not paying $85 for that. I went and bought the batteries and did it myself. YouTube is great for a lot of things. Let's take a look at Gypsy's wig video really fast. How about that? This is hilarious because somebody said it looks really realistic. This is all on GRBsnark, by the way.
Wig from it looks realistic. So it's wigs by Tiffany. They are very expensive. I dropped $2,000+ on this wig, but it's real human hair, and it is by the scalp, like by the right here, the part, it's all hand sewn, so it looks realistic. And I tried on like a couple of them. I wanted something to where it wasn't brunette, it wasn't full blonde, it was just kind of like a mixture of both. I've washed it a couple times with ease. It's very comfortable. What's my goal weight? I want to say like 105. I think because for my height, healthy weight range by the standards, I guess, is 95 to 120, I think. So.
What is she talking about? My healthy weight, I'm 5'5". My healthy weight is 135. That should be my healthy weight range. I'm under my weight range, and I hate being under because I look sickly. I'm just straight. I like curves. That doesn't matter. Whatever. This girl, I swear. 2,000 for that wig. You know, lace fronts on Amazon are sewn with real human hair for thousands less. Oh my God. I cannot. Hey, I'm not going to say anything. When I went through my situation, and one situation I was hit, smacked. I thought I was going to lose my life that night. I swear to God. My hair was pulled out. My jaw was swollen. I had a bruised eye. Like my face was all bruised. I had hair pulled out in probably 6 different spots. And when I say pulled out, it was bleeding and it scabbed over and everything. That's why I wear hair extensions. And let me tell you, trying to find, I tried everything and it was a learning curve, let me tell you. Trying to figure out how to wear it to cover it and to make sure it covered it and what worked. And I couldn't just stick a clip there because it, you know, my hair won't grow back there. It never will. The follicles are damaged. They're done. But I looked like straight crap. I mean, my hair was crazy. And I even wore wigs. I don't care if she wears a wig. I wore a wig, tried to. But they were just so big and heavy and hot, and I missed just hair. Like, I did extensions before any of that ever happened. I love them. I love long hair. So I looked like straight craziness trying to get it figured out. But at the same time, you would think if she was forced to do this as a kid, this would trigger her. I don't understand how none of it does. Where's the dog? In all these lives she's doing, you do not see that dog ever. Where is the dog? You see the bowl there, it's empty. But there's no dog ever. Let's look at Ashley Baby's video really quick. Really quick, because I want to touch on something there too. She's hilarious. I love her.
Breaking out the old pose and medical records talking about it's my time to heal. Fuck you healing from, Gypsy? Your own lies? You were a sick kid, girl. That's just what it is. For one, you had a mild global cognitive impairment. You had your microdeletion. You had microcephaly. You had scoliosis. You had a syrinx at C7 and C9. And well, friends, if you don't know what
that tumor she's talking about right there, that's what I was telling you guys. I have that. And it is painful, debilitating. That's what they found on my MRI. I can't have treatments or shots or anything done without it being guided by an x-ray, and it's up by the C9. It's filled with spinal fluid, and I'm shaking today. I'm not having a good day, y'all. This is why sometimes I just need to like step back, you know? But whenever I would get like a muscle spasm from overdoing it, and I had 4 kids, right? And lifting them, and my ex, he was military. He was deployed or at war or gone. We figured it up, and it was like 89% of our marriage. He was away. I would move ourselves. He wouldn't be there. I redid our whole house, like tiled it, did molding, like everything. I did everything. And I would get myself down, you know, and I would get these muscle spasms back here on my neck, and you could put your hand on it and it'd be like a knot. You could feel it. And when it would do that, I would lose feeling in my arms all the way down my hand, tingling, headaches, back pain. It would make other places. And my doctor told me, my neurologist, when you have spinal issues, you're going to have issues with the entire spine. Like, it doesn't just stop there at one spot. That don't happen. And I do have degenerative disc disease and arthritis and all kinds of herniated disc, bulge disc, tissue exposure, protruding disc, like tons of stuff wrong with my neck, right? But when I would get those spasms near that tumor, my hands would like draw up, like it would do this, like almost. I couldn't hold a cup hardly. I couldn't open a door. It was hard for me to draw. I couldn't grip. I ended up doing a lot of different procedures. You can't ever have it removed. No, it's not ever going to go away. You can't have it drained. It'll come back twice as big and quicker and grow more. I know about this, and it is very painful, and it hurts, and it was from a previous injury, they said. So I don't know what I did, but I was a cheerleader. I landed on my neck on quite a few handsprings and stuff like that, and I had a car wreck once, so it could be that. I don't know. Just saying, this right here is serious, and she had that as a kid. I had nerve endings burned off. I'll never do that again. Oh my God. But yeah, sorry. I just wanted to tell you, when Dee Dee said she was feeling pain, yeah, she really was probably. Absolutely.
That is, it is a fluid-filled cyst in her spinal cord. This has many of the same effects that damn microdeletion does, friend. Nerve damage, chronic pain, weakness and stiffness, sensory loss. You know, when she was telling Nick to bite the living hell out of her, and he was like, she told me to do it harder. She had those big bruises on her. Reduced ability to feel pain. And it sounds like that larynx was larynx, honey. Balance issues, difficulties walking, causes paralysis, loss of control in the bladder. In your medical documents, it said you had incontinence. Hope I said that right, sorry. In that mild global cognitive impairments, which is linked to your 1Q2 1.1. Comes with its own little set of issues, don't it? Forgetting things, impulse control, navigating familiar environments, mood changes like depression, anxiety, apathy. Gypsy, you are a sick kid, honey. You know it, I know it, everybody freaking knows it, Gyp. Your microdeletion was microdeletion, honey. Even you said in your own damn video that your microdeletion played a huge role in your health and your facial features. You're in denial because you murdered your mom and you want everybody to believe the lie that you have told. I think that's called a compulsive pathological liar, actually. You start lying and you believe the lies. Let's be freaking real. Look at your facial features. You have scoliosis, which is linked to 1Q2 1.1. You have microcephaly. You said in this video that you could have been having seizures, you just didn't remember. Epilepsy can be grown out of, so no, you may not have it anymore. You said your teeth were crumbling out of your head. That's linked to the microdeletion. There was no damn blueprint for your mother to go off of, Gypsy Rose. Damn. First case wasn't found, diagnosed, and documented until 2008, Gypsy. 2008 was when the first case was found and documented. 3 years later, they found yours. Can't help but wonder how many other people have had this microdeletion and didn't get it diagnosed because they didn't know it was a thing. Even since 2008, only 102 cases of your specific microdeletion have been diagnosed. I'm not saying your mama was a great fucking mom, and I'm not saying that nothing crazy wasn't going on in that house. I don't believe your version of events, and I'm not gonna lie about that.
Yeah, I don't believe it either, Ashley. Don't believe it either. Not for a second. That's why I keep saying things, and it's why it's so angry she sits on here and lies. Again, uses other people's traumas, and then gets up here and tries to get sympathy for what she did out of pure evil and wanting some eggplant. Simple as that. That's all she wanted. She was a over-sexual, hypersexual person. She asked to sleep with another dude. while Nick was coming here to off your mama to save you. And you know what's crazy is that the cops always tell you you need to show remorse. And when a judge looks at if you were honest or if you lied, you know, when you're being interrogated, they're going to look at that. This is your only chance to save yourself. He didn't lie. He told the truth. After the cop said, we know everything, he just spilled it all out there. She continued to lie and still does to this day. And she got nothing, basically. Nothing. And he's still sitting in prison. Yes, it makes me livid. His habeas corpus was denied. I do think Nick deserves at least a chance at parole. He is autistic. He is. This kid still is living in that same exact date and time as when this happened. He is. He's still living there. His mind is still there. Just like in the letter to Gypsy. She was all confused and didn't know how to take it. He wanted me back, and she was engaged. This girl, and let's not forget, Gypsy, you had full control of your medical decisions. You signed those papers. We have proof, and I've showed it, where you signed your own dental record. The whole dental thing, though, your teeth being crushed, you sucked a bottle till you were 24. Your weight, you had a fear of eating. You wanted a bottle instead. You wanted to babyfy yourself. You still infantile to lie. I hate to say that word. You still try to sound like an infant. You do it still today. Anytime you get asked or something gets brought up, or, you know, just like that Archie guy who switched over to her, you know, let's leave Gypsy alone hashtag or stop bullying Gypsy hashtag. I don't remember. But he apologizes to her for all the videos he's made. And she's like, thank you. Infant. Everything you do, you want sympathy for. You murdered your mom. You. Nobody else. You. You talked him into it. You planned, you plotted it for 2 years. You said he was easily manipulated on the stand. You lied and said he forced you to do something. And then on the stand said, no, it wasn't. You consented. No, it wasn't. It was consensual. I swear to God, man. And Nick's own father sitting there telling the detectives and testified too that he had to ask you to be quiet because of his youngest son, who was like 7, I think, at the time. He was young, I know that. Because you guys were too loud. The hotel video, hours after what you did to Dee Dee, and you're in there, he's eating a brownie. Oh my God. People do change. You don't. You haven't shown change. You haven't shown growth. And another thing, you were an adult when you went to that police interrogation and lied and said you were 19. Your mother had no guardianship over you, only if you were incapacitated. That means you couldn't wake up to make a decision over your medical only. Medical. It's a farce. It's a joke. It's a joke. Every bit of it's a joke. Dee Dee said she loved this girl. I don't care what anybody says. She loved this girl. She lied for Gypsy when she shot her with the pew-pew, the BB pew-pew. Like I said, she unloaded a clip that had like 50 or 100, something like that, pellets in her. There's a medical record showing every spot she was hit. Says some dude at Walmart did it. She didn't tell nobody when Gypsy chased her through the house with the KNIFE. I think there were a lot of other things done too. A lot that we don't know about. And she does. And yeah, nobody knows really what went on behind closed doors. At the end of the day, Dee Dee didn't deserve that. And I was watching Starlight and Hades. I can't wait till Into the Weeds put the new FOIAs from Nick's FOIAs out so I can read them. But I was today listening to Starlight. I didn't really hear anything that was so crazy or new or that, you know, was something we didn't know. But it does seem like the entire family just picked a story. Like I said, just picked a story, and they all said that one story, and it's the trampoline story. And again, yes, Gypsy saw her mother and dropped to her knees because she was the one lying to Dee Dee. Not Dee Dee forcing her. Gypsy was lying. And yes, Dee Dee did might initially sign the Social Security and all that for Gypsy, but for 6 years you had control of that, Gypsy. 6 years you got financial gain from that. You were an adult, not her. You had to sign for that. There's no way. There's no way she didn't. She was 18. Why that all just got swept under the rug, I don't know. I don't care. She just doesn't deserve to sit here and be glorified as this celebrity and like this big internet social media sensation that I didn't ask for, but yet you spent years building behind bars and having people do it for you. I watch Ryan's podcast. It's nothing. It's a nothing burger. Nothing new. He's right where he always is, defending her still, pretty much. But yeah, again, I apologize for not being more clear on my last video at the end. I should have not made it so quick and rushed it. It's my fault, you know. Again, like right here, I'm trying to remember things to say, and I know I'm skipping from part to part, and I hate when I do that. This is my third attempt at making this video, and I swear if I click off here and it doesn't, oh, I don't know why I have issues. I really don't, but I'm so tired. I'm going to bed. I will read some emails tomorrow, and as soon as Into the Weeds can get those FOIA documents out, I will start on those. I can't wait to read them. But yeah, so again, I apologize to anybody, but it's okay to disagree too, guys. I mean, even if we don't agree on everything, we still have one goal and one purpose, and that's to push the real narrative, the truth out, right? And that's all I'm trying to do. I don't ever mean to be disrespectful to anybody ever. I really hate that I hurt somebody's feelings or I've maybe disrespected somebody. I don't want to do that. I hate that. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. My whole goal is maybe this is more for me. Maybe because I've seen her tell these stories and initially I felt sympathy for her. Like, oh my God, you know, I can understand what she went through. And then she's lied about it. She's using other people's stories and traumas from every which way, from any community she can. And the fact that she compared body shaming to racism is mind-blowing. And they agreed with her. Are you... I can't. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. She's a victim now. She's a victim of body shaming that is just as bad as racism. I swear to God, I cannot. Nobody body shamed you to begin with. You brought that up. And then she's the one obsessing over her weight. That's all a her issue too, right? Nobody else but her. Anyways, I'm going to hop off here for now. I just wanted to put this out before it got too late. Hopefully it'll get out before midnight. But if you guys like this content, please let me know. My next video will be normal. Promise you. We'll have a normal video. Go over emails if nothing else, because there's some emails I just read from her and Rod and this chick, I swear. Oh my God. With all the facts we can prove, it's just crazy that nobody will just say, oh my God, she lied. Let's put this evidence out there. And then I'll say it again, Sheena. You guys refuse to hear it because all you care about is being famous with her. That's all it is. You won't convince me otherwise. Anywho, happy hump day. I hope you guys have a great night. Please like, subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next video. Good night.